The ocean is huge, but mankind's biggest ships prove that no horizon is out of reach. Some ships are so big, they seem impossible. Imagine a floating city, bigger than a skyscraper, moving across the sea. These giants carry thousands of people, millions of tons of cargo, and some even have their own airports. But not all of them are safe. Some have mysterious pasts, others are so big they nearly break the ocean. Get ready to see the giant ships that will shock you. The biggest cruise ship ever. This ship is a beast. The Icon of the Seas is the biggest cruise ship ever built, and it's absolutely massive. If you love giant cruise ships, you'll be amazed. But if you hate them, this one might just blow your mind. At 250,000 tons, it's 6% bigger than the current record holder, Wonder of the Seas. And get this, when fully packed, it can hold almost 10,000 people, including passengers and crew. That's like stuffing a whole town onto a single ship, all floating together in the middle of the ocean. But it's not just big, it's packed with crazy features. The Icon of the Seas has 20 decks, a huge water park, massive entertainment areas, and 14 different types of staterooms. It's designed to break records and offer the wildest cruise experience ever. If you thought cruise ships were already over the top, this one is on a whole new level. And the best part? It sets sail in early 2024, ready to make waves, literally. A floating city at sea. This giant cruise ship, Wonder of the Seas, was once the biggest in Royal Caribbean's fleet. But not for long. It's about to be overtaken by Icon of the Seas. Built in 2022, this massive ship weighs over 236,000 gross tons and can hold around 7,000 passengers, plus more than 2,000 crew members. That's a lot of people packed together. But Royal Caribbean says the ship is designed like a city with different neighborhoods to spread everyone out. And this isn't just a cruise, it's a full-blown floating city. There's a boardwalk with an arcade, a candy store, a sports bar, and even a hot dog stand. The pool area is packed with water slides, hot tubs, and sports facilities. Want more? There's also a park with real plants, restaurants, shops, an ice rink, a comedy club, a casino, a theater, a spa, and even a gym. Seriously, why do people need to take all this out to sea? Everything is already on land. But hey, the surprises aren't over yet. There's even more crazy stuff coming up. A crazy floating playground. Royal Caribbean has so many cruise ships that it's almost unbelievable. Right now, they have 26 massive ships across 6 different classes, and they own some of the biggest cruise liners in the world. One of them is the Odyssey of the Seas, a giant floating resort packed with endless activities. It's advertised as a family-friendly getaway, but let's be honest, if you're not a fan of kids screaming and jumping into pools non-stop, this might not be your dream vacation. They claim adults will love it too, pointing to the adults-only solarium, which has a bistro, bar, and relaxing whirlpools. But let's be real, when 4,000 grown-ups are crammed in there, trying to escape the chaos of kids running wild in a neon-colored playground of pools and arcades, it's not exactly peaceful. If you can handle that, then congratulations, you're braver than most. The rise and fall of Freedom of the Seas. Back in 2006, Freedom of the Seas was the queen of the ocean. It was the biggest cruise ship in the world, built by Royal Caribbean to impress. But in the world of cruise ships, there's always a bigger one coming. It didn't take long for her to be outdone by her own sister ships, and soon, even larger giants took the crown. Still, at over 1,100 feet long and 183 feet wide, this floating city could carry more than 5,000 people. At the time, it was an engineering marvel, but Royal Caribbean had even bigger dreams. This ship had everything: a grand promenade, tons of restaurants, a library, theaters, bars, clubs, and even an ice rink. It had a sports deck packed with mini golf, basketball, volleyball, a rock climbing wall, and a fully equipped gym. Back then, it felt like the future of cruising. But Royal Caribbean never stops pushing the limits. Every time they build a new ship, they add something crazier, making older ships seem small and outdated. Keeping up with all those upgrades? Now, that's gotta be a real pain in the boat. Trapped on a floating city, this ship is huge, no doubt about it. But what makes the Mariner of the Seas different from the thousands of other Royal Caribbean boats? Well, not much. Some ships are a little bigger, some have a few more pools. This one has laser tag. So when you get tired of seeing the same people every day on this never-ending vacation, you can shoot them for fun. Then, if that's not enough excitement, there's the Flow Rider, a surfing machine that lets you ride fake waves without ever touching the actual ocean. If that sounds exhausting, don't worry, there's plenty of ways to escape. Try an onboard escape room to pretend you have a way out of this floating hotel packed with thousands of people. Or, if that feels like too much effort, just do what cruise passengers do best: drink. With endless bars and restaurants, you can drown the boredom in cocktails and snacks until the trip finally ends. Cheers to that. A floating party like no other. This ship is massive, but somehow, it still makes me feel trapped. Welcome aboard the Carnival Celebration, a giant from the Carnival Cruise Line that's packed with over-the-top entertainment. It's slightly smaller than some Royal Caribbean ships, but at 183,184 tons, it's still a beast of the sea. And guess what? There's an actual roller coaster on board. From thrilling rides to endless dining options, this cruise is all about going big. If you're lucky, your room will have a great view. But if not, you might want to spend as little time in there as possible. Luckily, there are tons of places to eat, drink, and party until you drop. Feeling adventurous? There's a water park, comedy shows, and even NASA-themed activities for the kids, thanks to a partnership with the Kennedy Space Center. While they learn about space, you can hit the bar and test your limits. Now that's what I call a vacation. Carnival Panorama. Cruise lovers, here's another massive fun ship for you. The Carnival Panorama is a Vista-class cruise ship that set sail in 2019. But even though it was once a big deal, it has now been overshadowed by even bigger ships. Still, it's no small boat. The top deck looks like a wild playground, packed with water slides for families. Of course, there are plenty of bars and entertainment spots, but surprisingly, this ship has no casino or even a spa. For a cruise departing from California, that's a bit shocking. No saunas, steam rooms, or relaxing massages for the passengers. But here's the real problem. This ship is starting to struggle. With space for just 4,800 passengers and 1,450 crew, it's much smaller than Royal Caribbean's megaships. And despite being only a few years old, it's already having issues. Carnival had to cancel some trips and give refunds because the ship wasn't performing well. A once impressive cruise liner is now showing signs of age, leaving passengers wondering if it's worth the trip. Carnival Breeze. Would you believe it? Another Carnival cruise ship. This is the Carnival Breeze, a massive ship that first set sail in 2012. It cruises through the Caribbean, starting from its home port in Miami, Florida. With space for 3,690 passengers and 1,386 crew members, it's definitely big. But compared to the world's largest ships, it's just a little one at over 130,000 tons. But hey, size isn't everything. This ship is packed with fun. It has tons of bars and restaurants, a casino, and even a luxurious spa for ultimate relaxation. Whether you want to sip cocktails by the pool or try your luck at the casino, there's something for everyone on board. Sounds like a dream vacation, right? Carnival Radiance. This ship may be old, but you'd never guess it. The Carnival Radiance, once called the Carnival Victory, first set sail in 2000. After years of carrying thousands of passengers, she started looking a little worn out. But in 2020, she got a complete makeover. New look, new name, and back to the seas as the sparkling Radiance. Now she's packed with fun, from 4 pools and a spa to a casino and lively Vegas-style shows. Noticing a trend? These cruise ships all follow a similar formula, just different sizes and upgrades. The Radiance holds 2,764 passengers and 1,100 crew members, offering endless entertainment and plenty of bars and lounges. But maybe it's time to switch things up. Let's see if another cruise line can bring something new to the table. MSC Seascape, a floating giant. This ship is massive. The MSC Seascape is the biggest of MSC Cruises' Seaside-class ships, and it's one of the giants of the sea. At 1,112 feet long and weighing 169,400 gross tons, it's like a floating city. It can hold over 5,000 passengers, with a crew of 1,648 to keep everything running smoothly. With 20 decks, it stands tall against its rivals. MSC Cruises, a Swiss-owned company, is known for big ships, but this one takes things to another level, especially with its outdoor spaces and impressive promenade area. But here's where it gets wild. This ship has a Robotron. Sounds futuristic, right? It's a giant robotic arm that swings riders out over the open ocean. While other cruise ships show off roller coasters or surfing machines, MSC Seascape went for something straight out of a sci-fi movie. These cruise lines are in a never-ending race to outdo each other with crazy entertainment. Some might call it over the top, but hey, that's the fun of competition. A cruise ship with a dirty secret. The MSC Seaside may sound fancy, but it's not as exciting as it seems. It was the first of the Seaside-class cruise ships in MSC Cruises' fleet, launched before any of its sisters. While it has all the usual cruise ship features, it's actually a bit smaller than the MSC Seascape. Weighing 153,516 gross tons, it was once the 14th largest cruise ship in the world. Not exactly a huge achievement. But here we are, knee-deep in cruise ship facts, so let's keep going. Now, here's where things get nasty. The MSC Seaside had a serious hygiene problem. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention inspected the ship and gave it a shocking score of 67 out of 100. The reason? Dirty dishwashing and a fly infestation. Gross. Thankfully, the crew took action, and now the ship has a much improved score of 93. But honestly, would you want to have dinner on a ship that once had a fly problem? I sure wouldn't. MSC World Europa, a giant at sea. This ship is massive. The MSC World Europa, launched in 2022, is the biggest MSC cruise ship ever. It can carry nearly 7,000 passengers and has a mind-blowing 33 bars and restaurants to keep everyone fed and entertained. But that's not all. This ship takes things to another level with a Formula One simulator and the tallest dry slide at sea. Yes, you heard that right. No one thought it was possible, but MSC made it happen, proving that even cruise ships can push the limits of fun and excitement. But here's the catch, it's not as green as it claims to be. The ship runs on LNG, or liquid natural gas, which many cruise lines now use instead of older fuels. While it does produce less carbon, it releases more methane, the same gas that cows pump into the atmosphere, worsening climate change. So while it may sound eco-friendly, it's still far from perfect. A giant beauty on the seas. Here's one last look at the MSC Virtuosa, one of the biggest and most stunning MSC cruise ships. This ship was supposed to launch in November 2020, but, well, you might remember, cruise ships had a little problem that year. So, her grand debut was pushed back to May 2021. But when she finally set sail, she had everything you'd expect from a top-class luxury liner. Now, let's talk about size, because MSC didn't hold back. Each ship in this class was designed to be bigger than the last, and Virtuosa didn't disappoint. We're talking 181,000 gross tons of sleek, curvy design, carrying up to 6,334 passengers, plus a massive crew to keep things running smoothly. If that's not luxury, I don't know what is. Norwegian Prima, get ready to sail in style. The Norwegian Prima is a stunning cruise ship from Norwegian Cruise Line, NCL. Launched in 2022, this was the first of 6 new ships in its class. Weighing 143,535 gross tons, it's a massive vessel, though not the biggest on the seas. With space for 3,099 guests and 1,500 crew members, the staff-to-passenger ratio is impressively high. That means top-tier service, right? Well, that's the promise. Luxury, comfort, and all the features you expect from a top cruise ship. But this ship isn't just about fancy restaurants and infinity pools. It has a wild surprise. Norwegian Prima is home to a thrilling drop ride, unlike anything on most cruise ships. It's not a full roller coaster, but it's still a heart-racing experience. This fairground-style ride drops you down 10 decks in seconds, giving passengers an unexpected rush. For those who've had a drink or two, it's sure to wake them up. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? A cruise ship with a racetrack. You won't believe this, but the Norwegian Encore, a breakaway plus-class cruise ship, has a full-sized racetrack on board. Launched in 2019 and weighing 169,170 tons, it's not the biggest cruise ship out there, but it makes up for its size with top-notch features. From 3 outdoor pools to a spa and a casino, it's got everything you'd expect. But what really makes it stand out is the Norwegian Speedway, the largest racetrack at sea. Who even thought a cruise ship needed a racetrack? If they can do that, why not go even crazier? Imagine the world's biggest guinea pig obstacle course at sea. My pet guinea pig, Twinkle, would absolutely love that. Got a wild idea? Drop it in the comments. Richard Branson's cruise dream. Richard Branson just can't stop. He already owns airlines, vacation spots, internet services, and cable TV, so why not add a cruise line to the mix? In 2014, he announced Virgin Voyages, his own cruise company. The first ship, Scarlet Lady, was set to launch in April 2020, but, well, we all know what happened that year. After a long wait, she finally set sail in October 2021. This massive ship weighs over 110,000 tons and is packed with luxury. But the real surprise? Virgin Voyages made Jennifer Lopez their Chief Entertainment and Lifestyle Officer. Does that mean she'll be performing on board? Who knows, but it definitely makes the cruise even more exciting. Celebrity Beyond, the future of cruising. This cruise ship is massive, 141,000 tons, carrying thousands of passengers and crew. It's owned by Royal Caribbean, so nothing happens without their approval. They claim this ship will change the way people cruise, but they haven't exactly explained how. However, it does have a big first, the first female cruise ship captain in America. Maybe that's part of the revolution they're talking about. Another high-tech feature? It was the first of its kind to have Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink internet. So, maybe changing the way you cruise just means you'll be staring at your phone the entire trip, just like at home. A giant ship for no reason. They're building another massive cruise ship. The Sun Princess hasn't even launched yet, but it's already making waves as the first in Princess Cruises' new Sphere class. It will run on liquefied natural gas, better in some ways, worse in others. But do we really need more of these giant floating cities? Why not just put all this entertainment on land where it already exists? Instead, they keep making these ridiculously huge ships, wasting resources just so people can party at sea. And this one is massive. When it launches in 2024, the Sun Princess will weigh over 175,000 gross tons. That's enough to fit everything people expect on a modern cruise. 21 decks, endless bars and restaurants, and probably more swimming pools than anyone needs. At this point, it's not even about traveling, it's just a giant floating resort. But hey, if that's your thing, go ahead and defend it in the comments. Disney Wish, the ultimate Mickey cruise. Disney has been making cruise ships that mix vacation fun with the magic of Mickey Mouse. And guess what? Their newest ship, the Disney Wish, is the biggest and fanciest one yet. This ship is packed with Disney magic, from hidden Mickeys everywhere to a grand Cinderella statue. It even has Aqua Mouse, Disney's first water ride at sea. Plus, there are amazing restaurants themed after Frozen, Marvel, and more. If you love Disney, this ship is like a dream come true. But can a ship ever be too big? Even the biggest boat lovers might have a limit. What do you think about this massive Disney cruise? Would you want to hop on board? These giant ships are pushing the limits of what's possible on water. Which one shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more mind-blowing videos. See you next time.